Welcome to NXT Battleground.
The following contest is a last woman standing match and is for the NXT Women's Championship.
The Prodigy won the title a few weeks ago at the NXT shakeup, and she's here looking for her first title defense. We've had a little bit of a build-up. Her opponent tonight is going to be Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile, of course, was the runner-up in that NXT shakeup event and feels that she was deserved the title shot, so Ivy Nile's made her presence known recently. So these two women have been going back and forth with each other for a few weeks now, and hopefully we'll end up with a clean ending here tonight. Roxanne Perez, of course, a multi-time NXT champion at this point. Ivy Nile, though, seeking her first NXT Women's Championship against Roxanne Perez, representing American Made. We'll also be seeing her, the rest of her team, the Creed brothers, in action later tonight for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Ivy Nile demonstrating that massive power that she brings to the women's roster on NXT. Sounds like the audience is definitely backing the Prodigy for this one.
Introducing the challenger from Knoxville, Tennessee, Ivy Nile. And her opponent from Laredo, Texas, the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez.
Meeting in the middle right out of the gate for some old-fashioned chain wrestling. Roxanne Perez looks like she's using that athleticism to her advantage to take control over Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile, though, breaks out of that on her own right and switches into an arm lock. Big left hand to the gut of the Prodigy. Nile not afraid to fight dirty, but the Prodigy takes control again with the headlock. Nile forces the Prodigy off. She's got her. And big back suplex there. She lands right in the middle of the mat. Ivy Nile showcasing that strength of hers over the Prodigy. Roxanne Perez will not be able to outstrength Ivy Nile. She has to use her athleticism to her advantage. Ivy Nile looking to pick Roxanne Perez apart. As we know, Ivy Nile has attacked Roxanne Perez the last few weeks. This is a little bit of a grudge match. Apparently, Nile believes that she was owed that title. And unfortunately, she was eliminated, though, during the Battle Royal where it was decided. Ivy Nile has that countered with the Fireman's Carry Slam. Nile dropping Perez face first onto that turnbuckle. Big alley-oop out of the corner. Perez takes control, but Ivy Nile outpowers Perez once again, locking in that headlock. Looks like Ivy Nile is going to try and put Perez to sleep. Remember, submissions and pinfall are not legal in this match. This is a last woman standing match, so the winner will be whoever can stay standing while the other one stays down for a count of 10. Perez powering her way out of that submission attempt. Planting Ivy Nile back. Vicious kick to that lower back. Looks like Perez is looking for a weapon. She's got a kendo stick in hand. Ivy Nile has that scouted though. Takes the kendo stick away. Vicious blow to the back. Now to the legs. Ivy Nile is picking apart Roxanne Perez with that kendo stick, but looks like Roxanne Perez is able to get out of that. And she's now reversed it. Series of blows to Nile, but Nile reverses again. Nile looks to be done with the kendo stick. Drop kick to the back sends Perez down to the mat. Ivy Nile has Roxanne Perez up. It looks like Roxanne Perez attempted to tap, but this is a last woman standing match, so that's not going to count. Is she going to stay down for the 10 count? Ref is up to 8. Looks like Roxanne Perez is making it to her feet. Ivy Nile with a running heel kick there. Perez in the corner. Elbow gets Perez out of the corner. But Ivy Nile has the next move scouted. Takes control again. Got her up. Planting her in the middle of the ring. Ivy Nile just showing why she is the powerhouse of NXT. Just adding insult to injury with those taunts. Series of kicks to Perez. Nile not even going to let the ref start counting. Again with the tap. Ivy Nile wrenching on that sleeper hold until Perez taps out. Is that going to be enough to keep Perez down? Ivy Nile fully in control of this match. Perez using that veteran ability to just roll out of the ring to her feet to stay in this one. She plants Nile, but Nile is up at a count of 2. Perez had her back turned, trying to get her own taunts in, and Niall took advantage. Perez gets out of that suplex attempt. Taking this fight to the outside of the ring. This one can end anywhere. All that matters is that the opponent stays down for a count of 10. Perez plants Niall, but somehow Niall gets up before the ref can even start the count. Again, Perez caught while she's taunting Ivy Nile. Nile chucking Perez over the top rope like a bag of laundry. We saw that happen a few weeks ago. What is Nile looking for now? Bouncing Perez right off the announcer table. Niall showcasing that power right on the side of the apron of the ring. That's the toughest part of the toughest part of the ring to bounce off of. These two back and forth, they have each other scouted to a T. They definitely did their research, but Niall comes out on top with that back-bridging suplex. Almost immediately though, Perez is back up and they're going back and forth once again. Niall bounced off of the barricade. Niall up at a count of 1. What is it going to take to leave Niall down? Another spinning heel kick takes down Perez. Niall is up at a count of 3. Perez looking to get some shots in with the kendo stick, but Niall has that scouted. But wait, Roxanne trades it back. Big blow to the head. It looks like Niall might be cracked open. We can see some blood forming on the forehead of Ivy Niall. Perez with that vicious kendo stick blow. Is that going to be enough to keep Ivy Niall down and out? Ivy Niall up just before 9. Takes that kendo stick back. Trading the blow with that kendo stick. Looks like Perez is also bleeding now. Vicious match between these two. It seems like this has turned into a full-on fight rather than an actual wrestling match. Niall with the back suplex plants Perez in the middle of the ring. Niall's got that dragon sleeper locked in again. Perez trying to tap. Falls limp. Niall just drops her to the mat. Perez is out. But wait, what is Niall doing? She picks Perez back up even though it looked like Perez may have been completely out. I think Niall wants to put an end to Perez's career here. But Perez, with that power bomb, takes control of the match. This may have been Niall's undoing. She got cocky. But wait a second, Niall just got up at the count of 2. What will Perez have to do to keep Niall out of this one? Again, up just before 3. Is anything going to keep Niall down? Back to a series of reversals in the middle of the ring, and a gut wrench suplex puts an end to it. Niall is still not letting the ref count. Looks like Niall's looking to destroy Perez. Niall with another sleeper. There's no way Perez is going to survive this one. Niall just tossing Perez's lifeless body to the mat. Push-ups to add insult to injury. Niall showing how much she has left in the tank. And new.
Here is your winner, the new NXT Women's Champion, Ivy Nile.
Congratulations to Ivy Nile, her first ever NXT Women's Championship.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it's for the NXT Women's North American Championship.
Thea Hale given an awesome opportunity here for the North American Women's Championship. Thea Hale has been on quite the run recently, with several back-to-back victories, and is going to be facing off against our current NXT North American Women's Champion, Fallon Henley, who won the title at the NXT Shakeup. Thea Hale, one of the youngest ladies on our roster here tonight, is set to make a name for herself with her first ever singles championship in NXT. We'll also see some others from Chase University in attendance tonight. Chase University is going to be taking on the Creed brothers for the Tag Team Championships. Fallon Henley has, of course, won the NXT North American Championship at the NXT Shakeup, winning it in a match against Lonnie Jordan. Hopefully this will be a fair, clean match for Thea Hale and Fallon Henley.
Introducing the challenger from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Thea Hale. And her opponent from Chelsea, Michigan, the NXT Women's North American Champion, Fallon Henley.
Fallon Henley here is our inaugural North American NXT Women's Champion. First time we've used that title here. Fallon Henley seeking her first title defense. Thea Hale, on the other hand, seeking her first title win. Starting out with some chain wrestling, but Fallon Henley showcasing that power, getting it in the corner. Big cheap shot to Thea Hale. Already cracks open Thea Hale early in this match, it appears. Thea Hale, though, not letting that distract from what's going to happen with the suplex. Showcasing that awesome technical ability that has been instilled with her from Chase University, of course, led by Andre Chase, her mentor. Thea Hale from the top rope, but Fallon Henley has that one scouted, gets out of the way. Fallon Henley, of course, the veteran here in the singles competition between her and Thea Hale. Representing Fatal Influence. She's got the pin up, but her feet are on the rope. That is a dirty pin. Looks like maybe the ref was distracted. These two going blow for blow at the middle of the ring. Back and forth. Thea Hale blocks that one, follows up with a massive slap. These chops are going to leave some marks. Fallon Henley getting her return in. Fallon Henley ends this one with a drop kick. Plants Thea Hale in the middle of the ring. Thea just kicks out at 2. JC Jane going to capitalize on Thea Hale, but gets ejected from the match. This has turned into what should be a fair match now. Fallon Henley versus Thea Hale with no one in their corners. Thea Hale with that swinging neck breaker. She's got the arm lock locked in. Thea Hale is looking for a tap out victory already. Is it enough? Fallon Henley taps out. Thea Hale is our new North American Women's Champion.
Here is your winner, and the new NXT Women's North American Champion,
Next up is for our Tag Team Championships, Chase University with a surprise partner. Duke Hudson. Looks like Duke Hudson is going to be coming to the ring with William Mercer, Chase University's newest attendee, recently accepted from his transfer. Known as The Professor, William Mercer is a very technical wrestler who we have not actually seen in action here in NXT yet. This will be his first match. When Andre Chase disappeared from Duke Hudson's side, we wondered what was next for Chase University and what kind of expansion they were expecting. Looks like we have some new contenders on board today. These two look to be ready for a fight. Duke Hudson with several single victories over the Creed brothers. The Creed brothers won the NXT championships against Andre Chase and Duke Hudson at NXT Shakeup. The Creed brothers, of course, representing American Made as well, led by Chad Gable, who is not here tonight with us. These two have been very dominant in ensuring to keep Duke Hudson away from the title opportunities. However, they are coming off of a series of singles losses to Duke Hudson, so they might be in some trouble tonight if they can't seem to get on the same page.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall and is for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 493 pounds, Chase University. And their opponents at a combined weight of 515 pounds, the NXT Tag Team Champions, Brutus and Julius, the Creed Brothers.
We've already seen two title changes. We've already seen two titles change hands tonight. Are we in for a third? Are we going to keep that trend going here? Brutus, with the Creed brothers versus Chase University. Duke Hudson and Brutus Creed starting this one off. Duke Hudson's series of punches sets the tone of the match against Brutus Creed. Brutus Creed, or Duke Hudson, I should say, powers his way out of the corner. Big moonsault from Brutus, showing that athleticism for the big guy. Julius Creed now in the ring. These two making a tag early to showcase why they are the tag team champions. That ability to break out Duke Hudson and make sure that you can't make a tag. We are unaware of the chemistry between William Mercer and Duke Hudson, as this is the first time we've seen William Mercer in action. Big clothesline from Julius Creed. Duke Hudson was trying to crawl to the corner, but Julius won't let that happen. Julius off the top rope. William Mercer just breaks it up though. Hudson in the corner. Creed brothers showcasing that technical aptitude between tag team technical aptitude, I should say. Big shoulder checks to Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson, though, makes the hot tag. William Mercer is in for his first time in his NXT career. Brutus Creed right away picks him up and plants him in the middle of the ring with that double underhook suplex. Mercer in the corner, but powers out, using some of that Chase University technical ability. The professor running a clinic on Brutus Creed. Belly to belly out of the corner, sends Brutus across the ring. Mercer just toying with Creed, trying to chop down all his appendages, focusing on the arms. Got the submission locked in, but Creed powers out. Big right hands to Mercer makes him release that hold. Creed showing the power of Brutus Creed. Mercer with the flying clothesline, flying forearm. Looking for the sweet chin music, but no. Creed has it scouted. Sweeps the foot out from under Mercer. He's got him set up for suplex. Deadlifting suplex to William Mercer. These two, both highly technical wrestlers, they have each other completely scouted. Back and forth with a series of big moves from each opponent, but neither will stay down. Julius Creed with a cheap shot to the back of William Mercer's head. Takes him down. Brutus Creed again with control. William Mercer again went for that super kick, but Brutus Creed just got out of the way and tosses William Mercer like he's a rag doll across the ring. But it's not enough to keep him down. Finally, the super kick connects, but Mercer's out of it. They're both down. Mercer going for the cover. He's able to just get himself over to Creed. Looks like Brutus is busted open. Julius, though, breaks up the pin before the ref can start the count. Julius Creed overpowering William Mercer. Mercer's out of the ring. What's Julius Creed doing? He's got William Mercer separated. Mercer's trying to fight back. Creed's got him up though. Bounces Mercer off the announcer table. Wait, what's Julius Creed doing? This is not a no disqualification match. Put that chair down, Julius. Julius Creed with a chair shot to William Mercer. Another chair shot. A series of blows from the chair to Mercer. Has him down.
The following contest is a no-holds-barred match and is for the NXT North American Championship.
Charlie Dempsey looking for redemption against the Dawn of NXT, Tony D'Angelo, for the North American Championship. Last week, of course, the Dawn of NXT did put up the championship against Charlie Dempsey, but somehow managed to talk the general manager into making Shining Stacks Lorenzo the guest referee. And the odds were completely stacked against Charlie Dempsey in that match, so this is a rematch, and hopefully on a more fair playing ground. Tony D'Angelo defeated Charlie Dempsey in an underground match at the NXT Shakeup for the North American Championship. We are rehashing that rivalry here tonight. Looks like Tony D'Angelo will be accompanied to the ring by Shining Stacks Lorenzo. Hopefully, this will be a fair fight. It is a no-holds-barred match, though, so Stacks can interfere to his life's content without issue.
Introducing the challenger from Blackpool, England, weighing in at 200 pounds, Charlie Dempsey. And his opponent from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 240 pounds, the NXT North American Champion, Tony D'Angelo.
Charlie Dempsey looking for some redemption after the loss at NXT Shakeup and lost last week. Series of blows by D'Angelo right out of the gate. Plants Dempsey in the middle of the ring. Now we are receiving word from our general manager that after the events of the tag team match, the Creed brothers are still the NXT Tag Team Champions, as championship rules were in effect there. So because it was a disqualification, the title does not change hands. William Mercer seems to be in bad condition. He is being checked on by medical staff as we speak. We should hopefully have an update about him later in the night. Stacks taking off the protector from the turnbuckle. D'Angelo instantly scouts that out, takes advantage, slamming Dempsey into the exposed metal, but Dempsey powers his way out. Dempsey's quite the rough fighter in his own right. These two, looks like they're going to be trading some blows in the middle of the ring. Big chop from D'Angelo. Dempsey looking for a top rope move. Cross body off the top of the rope. High risk, high reward. Plants D'Angelo. D'Angelo just kicks out at one though. Looks like Stacks grabbed a hockey stick for D'Angelo's use. I'm not sure if either of these men see it. Belly to belly sends Dempsey across the ring. Both these men gassed and trying to recover. D'Angelo has his eyes on the hockey stick now. But Dempsey makes sure to stop him before he can pick up that hockey stick and do more damage. Looks like Dempsey's got something locked in there. But D'Angelo's able to just get his way out of it. Dempsey over the top rope. D'Angelo just steps out of the way. Leaves nothing but mat for Dempsey on the outside of the ring. D'Angelo has him scouted. But big right elbow from Dempsey. Wait, back and forth. Spear from D'Angelo. Dempsey is down. D'Angelo gets the final word. D'Angelo has Dempsey up. Bounces him off the announcer table. Dempsey running scissor flip there to D'Angelo, plants him on the outside of the ring. Dempsey makes his way back in. Grabs the hockey stick. This might come back to backfire on Tony D'Angelo. Oh wait, Dempsey drops the hockey stick. Maybe Dempsey's trying to keep this a fair fight. It might be a mistake on Dempsey's part. The Don in the ring, chair shot to the back of the knee. But wait, Dempsey knocks the chair out of D'Angelo's hands. D'Angelo with the back elbow. These two completely back and forth. We're seeing the result of them having several matches against each other in the past few weeks. They seem to really know what each other are capable of. Dempsey takes a chair shot to the back again. Another chair shot by D'Angelo, and another one, just a series of chair shots from D'Angelo to Dempsey. D'Angelo really showing why he's the Don of NXT. But Dempsey gets that reversed and sends D'Angelo crashing into the steel steps. D'Angelo drops Dempsey right on top of that hockey stick. Looks like D'Angelo might have a busted nose, but can't quite tell from this angle. D'Angelo still kicks out at 1. D'Angelo looks like he might be looking to put Dempsey through the table. Spinebuster on the announcer table. Dempsey goes through. That's gotta be enough for D'Angelo to retain. Wait, Dempsey's powering out while D'Angelo's trying to move him back to the ring. Pinfall does have to happen in the ring. Dempsey playing dirty, taking a page out of D'Angelo's book. Knocks him out with some brass knuckles and grabs the hockey stick. Looks like Dempsey may have snapped. He's had enough. He throws the hockey stick at Stacks to keep him out of the way. D'Angelo's in the ring. And that's all it. Charlie Dempsey is our new North American champion.
Here is your winner, and the new NXT North American Champion, Charlie Dempsey.
Charlie Dempsey showing why it's important to sometimes stoop to the level of your opponent so that you can keep that advantage, keep that pressure on.
Making her way to the ring from the other side of darkness, the Reaper, Elizabeth Mercer.
The Reaper made her debut a few weeks ago on NXT. Looks like she targeted Jacy Jayne out of the blue. We still don't really know why. We have this casket match here tonight, but looks like Lizzie Mercer has her sights set potentially on fatal influence. Jacy Jayne, of course, Fallon Henley's right hand, who we saw earlier tonight. This will be Mercer's first match with NXT.
Representing Fatal Influence from Tampa, Florida, Jacy Jayne.
Reaper with very dominant debut planted Jacy Jayne in the middle of the ring with a massive choke slam and set her sights on Jacy Jayne to lead us to this casket match here today. Casket match was, of course, Reaper's pick. Seems that it might be her specialty of choice. Hopefully Jacy Jayne understands what she's getting herself into against this unknown wrestler.
The following contest is a casket match. There are no pinfalls, submissions, disqualifications, or countouts. The only way to win is for a superstar to force their opponent inside of the casket. After closing the casket lid shut, the remaining superstar will be declared the winner. Now, let the match begin!
Mercer scouts Jacy Jayne right off the bat, Plants JC Jane in the middle of the ring. Mercer, a very powerful athlete here. Series of very powerful attacks from Mercer. Just flaunting that muscle, that strength that Mercer possesses. JC Jane tried to get the upper hand, but the Reaper instantly powers her way out of this one. As JC Jane up and just tosses her over the top rope onto that coffin, onto the casket, using that as a vicious weapon. Jane has it scouted though, sends Mercer running face first into the coffin. Yet again, using that coffin as a weapon. It's very wise. This is a no disqualification type matchup. The only way to win is to be put in the coffin. Or the only way to win is to put your opponent in the coffin, I should say. It'd be a lot easier if you could just put yourself in the coffin, huh? JC Jane powering out. Series of back and forths between these two. Mercer ends up with the upper hand with that power bomb onto the coffin once again. See, JC Jane just folded in half around that. Mercer was looking to put her face against the coffin, but JC Jane was able to power out of that one. Jane bounces the Reaper's face off the casket once again. And again. JC Jane just will not let up. Looks like JC Jane may have come into this one understanding what kind of fight is needed for a casket match. Chops back and forth there to the chest. But Mercer takes control early. Puts Jane into the casket once again. Follows that up with an elbow drop. Mercer bouncing Jane's face off the apron. These two using their environment to their advantage. They're locked up, but looks like they may be equal in footing there. Jane fighting her way out. Mercer's up, but sees that coming, gets out of the suplex. Big right hand to Jane. Plants Jane on the outside of the ring with an air raid bomb. The audience senses that the end might be near for Jane. Mercer doing the same as the casket open. Double axe handle to JC Jane. Jane just pulls Mercer's leg out from under her before she can get her footing though. Big elbow to the back of the head of Lizzie Mercer. That might actually be enough to end this one. Wait. Mercer powers out. Shows that phenomenal strength. She's got Jane up. What's she doing? Mercer tosses Jane to the outside. Big kick to the face sends JC Jane into the casket. Looks like Mercer's looking to end this. No, it looks like it might be too early. JC Jane is able to push her way out of the casket before it can be closed. Lizzie Mercer with a suicide dive from the ring. She saw that shovel and ensured that JC Jane would not get to use it. Into the steel of that barricade. Somehow Jane is still on her feet. But a discus big boot to Lizzie Mercer puts her down, followed by that big right elbow. This has got to be it. If JC Jane can just get the Reaper into the ring back to back with that right elbow, there's no way Mercer can get out of this one. Looks like Reaper may have bit off more than she could chew by choosing JC Jane as the first target. JC Jane with some steel chair shots, trying to establish who's in control here against Lizzie Mercer. Mercer just rolls out of the way. Looks like JC Jane may have missed her window of opportunity to capitalize against the Reaper. The Reaper tosses JC Jane just like she's nothing across the ring, or across the outside. That massive clothesline tears off JC Jane's head. Mercer's got her up for another air raid bomb. Jane somehow still fighting back even after that finishing attempt. Uranagi from JC Jane. Mercer is flat on the outside of the ring. Another steel chair shot to the Reaper. Jane knows that she's going to have to fight dirty to keep the Reaper down. Reaper's hung up on the barricade. Big boot. These two back to trading blows on the outside of the ring. But another big boot from JC Jane plants Mercer. Looks like JC Jane's finally looking for the finish. Mercer, steel chair in hand. Series of chair shots to JC Jane. Mercer moves us back into the ring. Big kick from JC Jane, punting Mercer across the ring. JC Jane again with that forearm. Is that enough to keep Mercer down? She's in the casket. JC Jane going to try to get the closure. Mercer using that power to try and force her way out of the casket. She succeeds. Mercer still in this one. Going to the top rope. Double axe handle takes down JC Jane. It almost looks like Mercer is not even phased from these recent attacks. Mercer snatches Jane out of the air and plants her. Got her on the top rope. What's Mercer looking for? Jumping to the top rope. Showing that athleticism. Superplex. She rolls through. And plants her again. Wait, somehow JC Jane is up after that. Huge forearm. Again to Mercer. Somehow survives the superplex. That momentum gets JC Jane back on her feet. JC Jane saw the opening and took advantage of it. Mercer rolls JC Jane into the casket. Is it enough? Looks like it is.
Here is your winner, the Reaper, Elizabeth Mercer.
You can see the battle scars of this one on Mercer's body there. This was quite the vicious fight. But Mercer comes out on top. What's next for Mercer and JC Jane? Here we are with our main event.
The contest is a steel cage match and is for the NXT Championship.
Wesley making his entrance as the NXT champion. He won his title at the NXT Shakeup in a back-to-back gauntlet match, where his opponent, we'll see tonight, Ethan Page, actually ran most of that show. Wesley's first major title defense as the NXT champion is going to happen in a steel cage. Of course, this match comes off the heels of a series of back-and-forth battles between Wesley and Ethan Page, where Ethan Page attacked Wesley, claiming that he is the rightful victor after eliminating 3 other superstars at in the gauntlet match, the NXT Shakeup. All ego, showing his ego. He's called his shot and is determined that he is the rightful NXT champion. After attacking Wesley backstage, Wesley made this matchup and said if there's going to be a championship fight, it's going to be on his terms inside a steel cage.
Introducing the challenger from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 214 pounds, All Ego, Ethan Page. And his opponent from Dayton, Ohio, weighing in at 183 pounds, the NXT champion, Wes Lee.
Wesley, a multi-time NXT champion. Ethan Page looking for his first NXT championship. This one is a fight that's turned personal for these two after a series of backstage attacks. Wes Lee showcasing that very fast ability right out of the gate with a heel kick. But Ethan Page isn't having it. Wesley taunting Ethan Page, showing why he's the NXT champion. Wesley trying to put Ethan Page's arm out of commission. Was going for some sort of turnbuckle move, but Ethan Page had that scouted, connects with a boot to Wesley's face to fight his way out of the corner. It's like Wesley's going to the top rope, looking for a frog splash off the turnbuckle. These two trading some blows in the middle of the ring. Wes Lee staying in control of this one. Ethan Page unable to get the upper hand. Finally connects with a chop of his own. Ethan Page takes control of this back and forth, but wait! Wes Lee decides to finish it. Series of kicks, stomps on Ethan Page's lower back. Wes Lee doing a lot of damage to the lower back of Page. But Page stops it with a DDT. Page is going for the cover, but Wes Lee's not ready to stay down. Immediately kicks out. Wes Lee had rolled away, went for a super kick, but Ethan Page stepped out of the way. These two seem to have each other scouted. Ethan Page with the cover. He's got his feet up, trying to be dirty here and get that win, but Wes Lee's able to power out. Wes Lee with a destroyer plants Ethan Page, but doesn't try and follow up with a pin. Instead, he puts him in the corner. What's Wes Lee doing? Looks like he was going for the cardiac kick, but Ethan Page just gets out of the way in time. Getting back and forth with these two. Ethan Page trying to climb his way to the top. Wesley bounces Page off the cage. That one rhymes. Ethan Page going for a double axe handle, but Wesley gets out of the way. Wesley with a series of blows. Wesley uses the cage to help him get higher up. Follows up with an elbow drop to Ethan Page. Cardiac kick from Wesley. Ethan Page is down. Now's the opportunity for Wesley. Wait, Wesley going for some daredevil antics, but it looks like Ethan Page might be meeting him up top. Wesley kicks Ethan Page off. What's he doing? Off the top rope, cross body to the back of Ethan Page. That's got to be enough to keep him down. Ethan Page just gets his shoulder up at 2. Somehow these two are still continuing on. Wesley's got Ethan Page in the corner. Going for it again. Another cardiac kick. No, Ethan Page drop kicks Wesley right before it connects. Ethan Page takes control. But Wesley's able to power his way out. Again, back and forth between these two. This has turned into a full-on grudge match here. Wesley looking for a cutter off the second rope, it looks like, but Ethan Page just steps out of the way. DDT from Wesley gives him control. Now it's Ethan Page's turn to power out of what Wesley was attempting, but Wesley reverses. Again, going for yet another cardiac kick. This time it does connect. Ethan Page is down. Somehow, Ethan Page kicks out at 2.5. Wesley, forgoing the pin attempt, he's just going to make it over the top of the the cage, it looks like. Ethan Page, though, coming up after Wesley. Wesley is at the top. Ethan Page. No, Ethan Page catches Wesley's ankles, pulls him off of the cage, back into the ring. Ethan Page was looking for the Ego's Razor, I believe, but Wesley had it scouted and got out of the way. Hurricanrana off the top rope. Wesley looking to just walk right out of this ring. He's done with this match. If both his feet make it to the outside, this one is over. Ethan Page is up. But Wesley was there before Ethan Page could do anything. Makes it out of the ring.